Daybreak Africa is your one-stop top-notch breakfast show that brings you all the interesting stories happening in and around Africa.
Because we have all the morning essentials,
including the latest news, sports, weather, and events. And of course, the people.
Daybreak Africa on Television Nigerian.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Abuja. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, Nigeria. My name is Mercy Joe, and many thanks for joining us this morning.
My name is Elvis Oga, and it's a big thank you for joining us on Daybreak Africa right here on Television Nigeria. I believe we all had a beautiful night rest. Good morning, Mercy Joe.
Yeah, good morning. I want to believe we all had a wonderful night rest. All right, so you were telling me about the COVID-19 figures. 11,000 recoveries yesterday.
Yeah, and ordinarily for Nigeria, we're expecting Nigerians to be happy that maybe we started getting something right for us to have recorded this huge number of recoveries. But Nigerians are feeling like something is missing somewhere.
Going on somewhere. And like there are more doubts than actually believing that it's actually possible.
And I saw that the NCDC were actually, they saw that coming and they tend to give some level of explanation concerning why the numbers of recoveries actually had to show up to that big figures. They were talking about updated recoveries from communities in Lagos. You know, Lagos is the epicenter of the infection in Nigeria.
Lagos alone has like about 15,000 cases of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
All right, so moving to a sad scenario that came up yesterday. I think it should be in the afternoon also at Lebanon, towards evening. At Lebanon, that's Beirut City, there was a massive explosion that you were comparing to the, what do you call it? Hiroshima blast. And that was like in the World War II also. And that blast is just something else. The problem is that we don't even know the cause of the blast yet. That's the even major issue. You know, I was talking about two things, but we don't really know which of which, and which is actually the truth. Yeah,
from reports actually coming out so far, so good. It has been linked to explosion of ammonium nitrate that has been stored in some particular store for close to 6 years now, since 2014. These things have been stored in there. And
so what triggered it?
We all know how volatile this ammonium nitrate can be. It's an element. If you go through your chemistry classes, you recall that there are some of these.
Every day, if I go through my chemistry classes, we are on Daybreak. Hey.
Was that really referring to you? I'm referring to everybody. Like,
right, no
if
problem.
we go,
if they go, okay.
I understand. Okay, but it's actually a very sad incident that we're talking about at the moment, and we've already seen some facts out of findings coming out already concerning that, and we saw from the governor of Beirut and then the president of Lebanon come out to talk about some of these things. You know, these things can actually be triggered by different atmospheric conditions, ranging from temperature to humidity.
I already find it amusing when I saw the talk about probably was some fireworks industry or something like located near that or something like, because if you could see the video very well, you see inside the smoke before the final massive explosion, there were like lightning inside it. I was like, what's this lightning stuff inside?
And one may want to even look deeper into, okay, what happened? Could this thing have been averted if some steps were taken? These things were kept in this place for over 6 years. No, I'm talking about what must have happened for the past 6 years that these things were kept in this place. If the authorities are responsible for checking them, And from report, they say these were ammonium nitrate that were seized from people. And then after seizing them, what happens to them?
Were they meant to actually still be kept there, or they should
even
have
though
been
if they are being kept
detonated somewhere or something?
It has very, apart from the explosive effect of it, is one of the components of fertilizers, we all know. So maybe they were being kept there for them to be used to maybe manufacture fertilizer, so many other things. But people will really want to know if there were supposed to be authorities that are supposed to look into these things and see how they could avert this kind of occurrences. And then that never came to bear until we had a very sad occurrence yesterday. Over 70 people have been reported dead already, with over 4,000 people injured, houses being shattered. I think I saw cars. I saw a report that was saying that the blast was so loud that people in Cyprus could hear it, as from Beirut to Cyprus.
To tell you how huge it was.
It was.
And my concern now is the casualties at the end of it, because you know this sort of explosion, you won't get all the casualties at once. It might take days. It might take a week.
Even the casualties, the bodies are definitely going to be ripped apart. So you may not be able to identify the victims and all these things. Wow. It's really sad. Our heart goes out to the people of Lebanon at the moment. Especially the Beirut. I saw something that actually broke my heart as well. You know, when the explosion happened, it shattered glasses and sent these glasses off in the air. And you know, these things, this is more like an explosive causing more explosive or reproducing more explosive. Imagine flying glasses. If they meet with somebody, you know what it can do to that person's body.
Oh my God.
That's really bad.
All right. I mean, everyone should try to say a prayer today for Lebanon. I saw a tweet, someone tweeted, I hope our Nigerian girls are not there. Anyway, just say a prayer for them, say a prayer for Lebanon. All right, that leads us to our next package. We'll go to the news desk now to get news from Susan Achin.
This is Television Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TVN Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seat and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art facility and equipment for high-definition quality broadcast, making our station your #1 choice in advertising your business and propagating your ideas. We are currently on NightComSat doing our test transmission for takeoff in the nearest future. Television Nigerian is located in Nigeria at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT, and in the United Kingdom at 45 Ancient House, 48 Aerodrome Road, Beaufort Park, Colindale, London. For inquiries, Television Nigerian, broadcast beyond boundaries.
There are a lot of false information about the coronavirus. These are the facts. People of all ages can be affected by the coronavirus. However, older people and people with pre-existing medical conditions such as asthma, diabetes, heart diseases are more vulnerable to the disease. It is not for old people alone. Gargling salt and warm water or chewing garlic and ginger cannot prevent the virus. Drinking alcohol, hot lemon, palm oil or chloroquine will not kill the virus. The virus cannot be transmitted through mosquito bites. Antibiotics do not work.
Good morning and welcome to AM News. I am Susan Achin. Nigeria has recorded 304 more cases of the novel coronavirus, bringing its total infections to 44,433. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) disclosed this on Tuesday night via Twitter. The new cases were reported in Lagos, the Federal Capital Territory, and 17 other states of the Federation. Meanwhile, a total of 31,851 people have been discharged after recovering from the dreaded disease. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the re-engineering of the nation's entire security apparatus. This is according to the National Security Advisor, Babagana Mongunu. Mr. Mongunu briefed journalists on Tuesday after the third National Security Council meeting in 2020 chaired by President Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. The nation's security advisor called for calm, promising that the president, along with the service chiefs, is doing a lot to handle the insecurity in the northwest and north central states. Meanwhile, the federal government has launched the reviewed 6th Broadcasting Code of the National Broadcasting Commission, the NBC. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who unveiled the document on Tuesday at an event in Lagos, reviewed that the government has raised the fine for hate speech from 500,000 naira to 5 million naira. He explained that the code was reviewed in line with the directive of the President for an inquiry into the regulatory role of the NBC in the wake of the 2019 general elections. Mohammed noted that President Buhari had also ordered the probe of the conduct of the various broadcast stations before, during, and after the polls. And on to the entertainment scene. Nigerian music star David Adeleke, better known as Davido, recently left the country proud following his win at what is considered South Africa's biggest accolade in music, South African Music Award, SAMA. The popular musician was recognized at the virtual ceremony held on Monday evening, August 3rd. Davido's A Good Time album won the award under the Rest of Africa category. The win makes him the first Nigerian artist to win a SAMA. Well, congratulations to Davido, making us proud every other time. And that's it on AM News. I am Susan Achin. Daybreak Africa will continue shortly. Stay with us.
This is Television Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TVN Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seats and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art facility and equipment for high-definition quality broadcast, making our station your #1 choice in advertising your business and propagating your ideas. We are currently on Nigecomsat doing our test transmission for takeoff in the nearest future. Television Nigerian is located in Nigeria at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT, and in the United Kingdom at 45 Ancient House, 48 Aerodrome Road, Beaufort Park, Colindale, London. For inquiries, Television Nigerian, broadcast beyond boundaries.
All right, welcome back. That was news by Susan Achin there. Kudos to Davido on that one there. All right, that leads us to the dailies this morning.
And we have the Nigerian Tribune to begin with the banner headline. Buhari orders total overhaul of security strategies. Says Nigeria now hard drug producing country. Sultan Khan call for effective security of citizens. Governors meet today over degenerating security. All of that stories can be found on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Below that, Fasanmi buried as politicians told to work for humanity. FG increases hate speech fine from 500,000 naira to 5 million naira. Kwara deputy governor wife test positive for COVID-19. And then you have below the picture story, Chinese loans, $400 million project abandoned after completion. $161 million paid on capital interest, $22.67 million outstanding, full payment due in 2030. All of that can be found on page 25, and that's a report concerning the controversies that has been actually raised concerning loans upon loans being collected by Nigeria as a state. And then above the nameplate, we have sovereign immunity clause, diplomatic immunity not same as commercial immunity, AGF tells NAS. And you can check that out on the page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Beside that, another alleged 6.2 billion naira palliative fraud hit NDDC. Distribution Committee Chairman petition Senate, and you can check that out on page 29. Then I'll take this last one here that is talking about WAEC. WAEC releases 2020 WASI timetable. Pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune to get the details of these stories and even more.
All right, taking a look at the Punch newspaper this morning. The big headline here on hate speech. NBA activists lampoon federal government for raising fine to 5 million naira. Addresses senseless killings, economic hardship, SANS, and lawyers' body. Others tell government. That's on page 2. The picture story there, we can see the Lebanon explosion that happened yesterday. 50 killed, thousands injured as explosion rocks Lebanon port. You can read that on page 5. Below that, 4,000 ghost voters participated in NBA election. That's coming from the lawyers group, and you can get a hold of that on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Below that, Ogun engineer allegedly breaks into neighbor's house, rapes daughter. That's on page 4 and 5. Beside that, NUC believes varsities will reopen soon. Laments ASU strike. That's on page. That's on the Punch newspaper. And above that, stamp duty outrage on Twitter as FIRS slams NIPO's chairman. That's on page 32. But you can get a hold of these stories and many other stories when you get a copy of the Punch newspaper.
All right, now let's take a look at headlines we have from this day newspaper. We take it from top to the bottom with these following headlines. UBA leads $1.5 billion oil sector financing deal, provides $200 million in NNPC pre-export finance facility. FG releases hate speech fine, raises hate speech fine from 500,000 naira to 5 million naira. And now below the nameplate, Akpabio moves to get another 20 billion naira for East-West Road. Fears mount, funds might disappear like NDDC. You can actually pick a copy of this day newspaper to know where the fears are coming from. And then the banner headline we have from this day newspaper reads, Security Council meets Buhari, order new strategies, overhauling of architecture. In Dume, Nigerian army is ill-equipped, underfunded to fight insurgents. Governors meet today over insecurity. And I'll take this last one here that is talking about a fallen hero. At funeral, Fayemi Oyetola, Akeredolu celebrate Fasanmi. You can get that on the page 5 and then do well by picking a copy of this day newspaper to get the details of these stories and even more. And that does it for this day newspaper.
All right, taking a look at the Daily Times newspaper this morning. Power sector contracts. What British firms said about Nigerian government officials. You want to know what they said? That's on page 2 of the Daily Times newspaper. And below that, health. COVID-19. Nigeria records 288 new cases. Total now 44,129. Debts 896. That's on page 3. Moving to politics, PDP, APC in war of words over multi-billion naira deals. That's on page 3. Economy, oil prices fall amid COVID-19, cast shadow over fuel demand peak up. Then I'll take this last one. That's the editorial for the Daily Times newspaper this morning. Partial closure of Third Mainland Bridge. That's on page 12. So you can get a hold of the Daily Times newspaper this morning to get many more stories.
And now on to Business Day newspaper with the following captions. The banner headline we have from Business Day reads, Equity versus Debt, making a choice for Nigeria. And then beside that, why motorists spend longer hours on Eco Bridge. And now the inside story is talking about some reasons why manager is your plug. And with the caption, 5 reasons fund manager is your plug in a declining yield environment. That story is on the page 2. You can check that out. And then we have a report here with the caption, UBA provides $200 million for Nigeria's petroleum industry. That is still on the page 2 of a Business Day newspaper, and that does it for Business Day for this morning.
All right, taking a look at the Guardian newspaper this morning. Nigerians pay 2 trillion naira for calls, data in 6 months. That's a lot in 6 months. COVID-19 pushes up expenditure amid poor services. True, the service these days has really been kind of poor. Each subscriber spends 1,725 naira monthly. That's even small. GSM operators see more growth. MTN claims pandemic spike data usage. All right, what an observation. Below that, more voices against Kaduna killings, and diaspora Nigerians beckon on United Nations. Sultan, others urge caution on northern-wide crime. That's on page 2. And that's the story here on the Guardian. I'll take this story here. Panel alleges diversion of 6.2 billion naira palliatives for Niger Delta by NDDC. That's on page 4. Change your tactics now. Buhari orders service chiefs. That's on page 3. And I'll take this last story here. COVID-19 and All of Us by J.P. Clark. That's on page 30. That does it for the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right, and the next paper up for review right here is the Daily Sun with the following headlines. Just beside the nameplate, Yoruba leaders extol Fasanmi as remains are interred in Ekiti. 2023, Prof proposes use of POM to ensure credible, cost-effective elections. And then the banner headline says, Buhari to overhaul security and is a hint of plan to change tactics in fight against insecurity. Can NSCIA insist insecurity worsening, seek mop-up of illegal weapons. And then we have below the picture story, which we have about 2 picture story here. One is more like a teacher trying to check a temperature of a returning student. And then below that you have, we spent 523 million naira feeding pupils in Lagos, Abuja, Ogun during lockdown. That is coming from the federal government, and you can actually pick a copy of the Daily Sun to get the detail of that. That story can be found on page 8 of the Daily Sun. And now we have this below that, why varsity are yet to open. That is coming from NUC, National University Commission. And that does it for the Daily Sun this morning.
All right, taking a look at the last dailies here. That's the national newspaper, the Nation newspaper, the national newspaper. All right, the headline here: Buhari orders security rejig as Khan Sultan raised the alarm. Religious leaders call for end to arms race. Governors meet on security economy. This other story down here: petrol price to go up as PPPRA raises ex-depot price by 6 naira. Above the nameplate, government airing stations to pay 5 million naira hate speech fine. That's on page 7 there. Beside that, Ondo Deputy Governor shuns PDP Congress. That's on page 5. UBA leads 1.5 billion naira facility drive for NNPC. That's on page 27. Bristol helicopter sacks 100 pilots, engineers. That's on page 27 as well. And I'll take this inside story. Obaseki disrespects Oba of Benin, says ex-APC chairman. PDP members to ICPC. Investigate Obaseki. Why we are different from Oshomole. That's coming from Ize Iyamu. Assembly suspends lawmakers. INEC never substituted AAC man. That's more. It's on page 5 of the inside story of the Nation newspaper. And that does it for the dailies this morning.
So many interesting headlines coming from the national daily. So if you really want to get the details of these stories, you can do well by picking the copies of any of our national dailies that got your interest or got your attention. And I'll take you to our next package on Daybreak Africa right here on Television Nigeria. And that is our healthy living tips that is coming from the health desk.
Welcome to Healthy Living. We help you to live a healthy life. On today's episode, we'll be talking about metabolism and how it affects us. Metabolism is the process the body uses to convert food into energy. We each burn calories in our own ways and our own rates, and those rates can change over time. Rate of cellular oxidation. This refers to the rate at which cells convert food into energy. Some people are fast oxidizers who can rapidly convert food into energy. In order to balance their systems, fast oxidizers need to eat heavier proteins and fats that burn slowly. In contrast, slow oxidizers convert food into energy at a slow rate. In order to balance their systems, they eat mainly carbohydrates rather than protein and fat. 3 general metabolic types. Protein types. Protein types are fast oxidizers or parasympathetic dominant. They tend to be frequently hungry, crave fatty, salty foods, fail with low-calorie diets, and tend towards fatigue, anxiety, and nervousness. Carbo types. Carbo types are slow oxidizers or sympathetic dominant. They generally have relatively weak appetites, a high tolerance for sweets, problems with weight management, and type A personalities. Mixed types. Mixed types are neither fast or slow oxidizers and are neither parasympathetic or sympathetic dominant. They generally have average appetites, cravings for sweet and starchy foods, relatively little trouble with weight control, and tend towards fatigue, anxiety, and nervousness. What to eat? The 3 metabolic types have very different lists of commendable foods. Protein types. These people need a diet that is rich in oils and high proteins such as organ meats, beef, duck meat, poultry, and seafood including salmon, tuna, herring, and mussels. Protein types can also eat fats such as egg, whole milk, cream, and whole milk cheese. The carbohydrate intake should be low with a focus on complex carbs, whole grains, vegetables over simple ones, sugary, starchy foods. They should aim for a macronutrient balance of 40% protein, 30% fats, and 30% carbs at each meal. Carbo types. These types need a diet that is high in carbohydrates and low in protein, fats, and oils. They eat low purine proteins such as turkey and chicken, light meat only, and lighter fish like haddock, perch, sole, and flounder. Carbo types should stick with low-fat dairy products and eat lots of vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. They don't need to load up on refined carbs. Their ideal macronutrient balance is 60% carbs and about 20% of both fats and protein. Mixed types. People classified as mixed types should eat a mixed diet, one that is a mixture of high fat, high purine proteins and low fat, low purine proteins such as eggs, yogurt, tofu, and nuts. This type requires relatively equal ratios of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. That is much we have for today on healthy living. Remember, a healthy body is a wealthy soul.
Alright, welcome back. That was healthy living there. That leads us to our next package on a documentary.
Very interesting one. Like, I know everybody will want to see this one. It's talking about the moral and economic implications of reality TV show Big Brother Naija.
Alright, let's listen to that.
Big Brother Naija, the Nigerian version of Big Brother Africa, is a Nigerian reality television competition series based on the Big Brother television franchise, in which 20 contestants live in an isolated house and compete for a large cash prize worth 171,428, an equivalent to 60 million Nigerian naira.
26,
27,
27, 27,
29, 25.
The 2020 edition of Big Brother Naija is the 5th season, with 3 editions already hosted in South Africa, making the 2020 edition the 2nd hosted in Nigeria. However, there has been so many reactions from Nigerians with regards to the moral and economic benefits.
I don't think BBNaija should be running for now, because even without the lockdown or the economic meltdown now as a result of the COVID-19, it doesn't have any positive impact on the youth especially, because from the way they run it or how I see it, it promotes promiscuity and encourages indecency, and now leaves what they are supposed to be relating or displaying to the youth or to the world. It's supposed to be a platform or an avenue to relay a positive message or positive impartation to the youth, to the onlookers, even to the old who have something they might, 1 or 2 things they might pick from it. It should be something that should affect life, people, society, economy positively.
So it actually has like immoral influence on like youth. Someone to like join the program, be one of the housemates. But at times things they do on the shows, like all these bad stuffs like sex, romance, and stuffs, discourage some youths not to go, or their parents should be like, we should not contact, blah blah blah. But it's fun, sha.
While some of them see it as breaking the seed of moral discipline already planted in our youth, according to religious perspective, some individuals enjoy watching housemates engaged in sexual activities, while others fantasize about the body features of these housemates.
Big Brother Africa started very well. Everybody knows that it started very well. A lot of kudos came out from that, the Kenyan guy that won and all that. But at this point, it's becoming something that is anti-society. Something that has to do with everything apart from what the society wants. There's a lot of nudity going on. There's a lot of anti-social practices going on. And at the end of the day, you wonder what values are we trying to pass to our children. I'm sure if you take a look at the statistics, you will see that there has been a downward trend in the number of people that watch Big Brother. It's not the same with those that watched it then when it was Big Brother Africa. I think that's a message to people that started this program, that there's something that is not going well about Big Brother Nigeria.
The previous one, the flashy one, the yours show I saw on television like that, you know, the kind of dressing, you know, it's not good for our children. That is one of those things I did against, you know. Even though as a Christian or Muslim, there's nowhere in the Bible, in the Quran, that we should just dress indecent.
The need then arises, organizers of the reality show, to bridge the gap between creating economic opportunities for youth in Nigeria and breaking the moral code that frowns at indecent behaviors prevalent in the Big Brother house. Some of them say the recent sex plays going on among the housemates had raised concerns over the future moral status of youth in the country.
Now, DSTV got its license, which is a broadcast license, from NBC and not from NCC. But there's a thin line between broadcasting and telecommunications at this particular point in time, because they use spectrum, and some of these spectrums can be shared. So some people may come to NBC, get a license, but they still come to NCC and get a frequency. A lot of people watch that program, and they make calls, they text on who they prefer and all that, who is their favorite and all that. So at the end of the day, because the distinction between telecommunication and broadcasting is blurred now, you have a situation where both the broadcasting company and both the telecommunications company are benefiting from a show of that kind of program.
While entrepreneurs see the COVID-19 pandemic as an opportunity to build up an economy from a near collapse, a possible economic recession, which was predicted by experts, is shifting focus to the informal sector, and the creative industry is expected to be the receiving port for the influx of many young people in search of greener pasture and economic liberation.
I certainly don't want to be locked up for 90 days to make money, but some people will argue that if they don't have anything and then they are locked up somewhere and they are fed for 90 days and they stand a chance of getting $100,000, is the kind of money that perhaps some people will have to work for 15 years before they can ever make that kind of money. So to those kind of segment of people, it's a good opportunity. And then some people have stayed there, they have been seen on the television, they become popular people. So once they leave that place, they go back. Some of these advertising companies use them. Some of these movie companies use them. So at the end of the day, it is an opportunity for them to move from there to stardom.
MultiChoice Company, the owners of DSTV, a South African company, also enjoys significant economic and financial growth in user subscription rates during every BBNaija season. Typically, in addition to growing the number of new subscribers on the platform, the company also records higher customer subscription rates to their different programming bouquets or plans during the live transmission of the show. They also record more revenue through their different value-added services. In addition to selling more DSTV decoders, the company also records more user viewing time during this period. This ensures regular commercial breaks and increases the value of the advertisement for sponsors.
I'm aware that you cannot broadcast anything that show nudity. I'm aware that you cannot broadcast anything that cast a particular ethnic group in a bad light and all that. So if the regulator, NBC, does not feel that it breaches their code of conduct, then I cannot pass judgment on it, and they should be free to air what they want. But I have so many choices, because there are so many, MultiChoice has so many choices for me to watch, so that I don't necessarily have to go to that particular one anyway.
The media value of sponsoring BBNaija, according to experts' survey, amount to not less than 10 billion naira. A mixed group of carefully vetted candidates are ushered into a house miles away from home. These strangers are joined by the hip inner building for days after quitting their job to invest in a portion of their lives into a reality TV show. On the surface, they are signing up to have viewers live through them. But the real hope is that via participating in the house, they can mint money through business deals, brand partnership, and even launching their own brands. As the reality show progresses, the Nigerian audience are advised to avail themselves of viewer discretion facilities put in place by the organizers of the Big Brother reality show.
What an interesting one right there from that documentary. Like I said, I know a whole lot of people were expecting that and they will be eager to see that. Were you able to pick anything from that?
One more to pick, aside from the fact that, yes, we all feel that it has its good side, it has its bad side.
And then I think I love the economic impact that's been exposed from that documentary.
Yeah, I mean, for DSTV, yes.
And for people who may tend to, they were talking about the housemaid that go ahead from there to increase their stardom, after bagging endorsement deals from so many companies and all.
Different other outfits calls them on. It's just like a breaking point for
Tasha
them.
from last edition just bagged an endorsement deal with
not just one.
Yeah, yesterday she was unveiled as a Oppo ambassador.
You see,
so
that's the nice part for the housemates. Now for the people watching and the children that sneak to watch, what is it doing to them?
Somebody was talking about that's why it is rated 18+. So if you don't want your kids to watch it, you password a particular channel. Thank God some of these devices come with these features.
Yeah, the DSTV actually has that, but then we know how the society is now. We know how it works. So regardless, I mean, the main purpose of Big Brother Nigeria, like I was saying, or Big Brother Africa, is to actually bring people together and want to see how they can live, people with different cultures, different beliefs, different way of life.
So initially it was meant to promote unity,
yes, promote unity,
ethnic tolerance.
You understand?
Yeah, religious and cultural tolerance.
I just think it has gone beyond that. But anyway, it's entertainment, so what if we shouldn't take it personal?
Okay, I think that is the much we can take on Daybreak Africa on television Nigeria this morning. We'd like to say a very big thank you to you for riding with us on the show. My name is Elvis Oga.
And my name is Mercy Joe. Before we go, we'll be leaving you with a street creed on the reason why marriages break up these days. All right, stay tuned. Bye-bye.
A woman will go to the outside and go and be looking at